Here's some insight I learned at university. This is the advice I'd like to have heard when I just graduated. I have many questions, and now, although I don't have any answers, I have some replies. Question: is the university about the grades? Yes, but that's not to say it's only about the grades. Don't objectify yourself by solely focusing on such things and make them all decisive or all important. Life is more than obtaining a degree in W from University X with the GPA of Y at the age of Z. Education isn't a competition, and objectives are not a contest. There is no universal objective standard. Thus, cater to your personal strengths, beware of your weaknesses, and pursue goals in what you're good at and what you like. Of course, pursue such objective things, but do it for its instrumental value rather than its intrinsic value. That is, for example, rather than obtaining a degree for the sake of obtaining a degree, understand the contributions and benefits that obtaining a degree might bring. Understand how it can showcase one's ability to learn and develop and create in a specific field. Enjoy the process as well as the result. Ultimately, objectives like grades and degrees should not be made at the expense of subjectives like social and emotional development. Additionally, it should not be vice versa either. Thus, you need to learn balance. I try to do this by keeping flexible goals and remaining open so I can adapt. Question: why math? Not for fame, nor the money. There is neither, and besides, there are easier and better ways to get both. I relate mathematicians and math with science and the scientific method. I think in order to do it and to do it well, you need to have curiosity and a drive to learn and work in order to increase your understanding. You need to have willingness, determination, and persistence. You need to be truly interested in what you're doing. Question: how smart do you have to be do math? Firstly, smartness isn't objective, linear, nor fixed. Secondly, the question has the assumption that you need to be smart to do math. Before answering, ask yourself, why do you think you need to be smart to do math? Perhaps it's because you see math in a very refined form. Textbooks, teachers, papers, professors. Work experience creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's why there's a positive relationship between people who are good at math and those who do math. The impression you may receive is that math and mathematicians are always clear, concise, and correct. No. The end result should be, but the process is anything but. As in writing, you use an eraser. As on the computer, you use the backspace. And in essays, you write drafts. In theory, of course. Usually the process of doing math is messy, meandering, and wrong. The refined form, which is clear, concise, and correct, is only the polished version of countless hours of accumulated research. But to answer the question, do you need to be smart to do math? Even if there is some minimal baseline of talent, that comes secondary to how one uses such talent. As a teacher, I believe everyone is capable of doing math, it's just that they do it in different ways. How should you do math? Cater to the level of math you're doing. In all levels, problems are solved by knowledge and experience, and learning math takes time and patience and hard work. Always remember that the short-term goal of solving a problem is secondary to the long-term goal of increasing one's understanding. When learning in math, at first it's computation, then theory, and then finally thought. Early on, it's all about the solutions, the grades, and the levels, and the tests. There's a lot of focus on memory and study. There's lots of reading and writing, and it can be tedious. Eventually, with a thorough understanding of computation and theory, one will finally be able to think and show one's cognition and perception. The best sign of understanding a problem is when one thinks about its applications and its perspective within mathematics. Question: what happens when you can't do math? As important as how one takes success is how one takes setbacks. Rather than having regrets, look at hardships as obstacles to overcome and take them as a learning experience. Never work too hard or too much, as that's usually counterproductive. Natural setbacks such as frustration or fatigue will emerge, and that will cause a lack of motivation and patience. Eventually you'll feel overwhelmed and disempowered. Don't worry too much about it. Remember, You're not expected to understand everything fully the first time. Take things easy or just take a break. Eventually, by experimentation, you'll find ways to work efficiently and effectively. So yeah, after 4 years, that's what I think. And who knows, maybe after another 4 I'll rethink everything. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching.